Welcome to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage. Today we're going to be having a look at BTC. Let's get into the price action and see what's going on. So primarily what we're still looking for is, they're looking for this as an A, a B, and a C. So we've actually come down and we've met this one-to-one target already. So we need to be on the lookout for a reversal here to see whether we could actually start to move away from the zone. There are also potential counts, which could mean that we have a little bit more to go down here. So we need to be aware of those as well. So we're going to discuss these couple of options here. I still haven't written off the idea yet that this whole move could still be a flat correction where we see a 5-wave sequence come back to the upside here, and then this would be A, this would be B, and then we actually get another breakdown for a C wave, something like this. So this is something we need to just be cautious of here. Even if we do develop a 5-wave move to the upside and we start to get impulsive, even if we do sweep these highs, we just need to be careful that we don't look for a rejection and actually break down one more time here. So need to be aware of that. We have met that one-to-one target, like I said. So technically speaking, this could look to complete, and we could look to reverse to the upside here. Though we need to just be aware of the other ways we can look at this count. So primarily, what I'm looking for here, I'm thinking that we still have some downside. And what I would be looking for would be the possibility of this move actually playing out here. So where this is a 1-2, looking for this as a third wave here, and then actually looking for a fourth wave to the upside. Now, if this is the case, what we could see here is that we could see a rejection around this zone here of this 27,743 to this 26,705. So this would be a typical area that we'd look for rejection here. Now, invalidation of this would come by crossing this red line here, which is sitting at this 27,660. Now, what we'd be looking for is, depending on how high we would move up here, our target would be a bit lower here. So if we actually had to reject from the current point, our zone we'd be looking for would be this 25,525 to this 25,089. So that's what I'd be looking for here. Now, the way this move is currently playing out is only a 3-wave structure. This is just A, B, and C. So we need to be careful that this could still look to break to the downside. What I would be looking for, however, would be a bit more of a substantial move, because if we're going to use this as a wave 2 here, possibly we could be looking at something like a more complex correction that's going to play out here, where this becomes an A wave, we get the 3-wave move down for a B wave, and then we get something like this as another 3-wave move up here, looking to target out some of these higher areas. So this is what I'm just being mindful of here. We do still have that potential that we could find this play out as an ABC for a fourth wave, and then look to break down. That's valid for, like I said, as long as we stay below this 26,666. So we need to just be careful. We don't have good impulsive structure to the upside. And even if we did form this as A, B, and C, we need to get back above this wave 1 to invalidate this as a fourth and a fifth. Now, just getting back above this wave 1 wouldn't necessarily invalidate the idea we could still go down deeper. What we would have to actually do for that is actually break back above this high here of this 29,975. And if we had to have a direct breakup, like I said, we'd have to be careful of that idea of having a flat correction here. So this would look something like this, where what we do within this structure is we look at this as an A, B, and a C into here. This is another A, B, and a C to the downside here. And then basically, if this continues to hold support above this zone here of this 25,811, what we could see is this actually develop into a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So there's some target areas for that would be this 1-to-1, which would be if it's going to be a running flat. If it is going to push up higher, though, what we do have here is some targets that are towards the top of this move here. We have this 29,441, which would be a 0.236, this 29,902, which would actually bring us right back into these highs over here, which would be a 1.382, and then we have this 1618, which is sitting up here at this 30,663. So we need to be aware that there is still potential. We could see something like this develop, where we form this as a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then actually break up into these highs, and then actually look to break down from there for another leg to the downside, something like this. Now, if we do get a flat correction here, this move to the downside should be quite a strong one. So we'll have to obviously take it one step at a time. But, this is just something that we need to be aware of. Now, there is also the potential that we could look at this move that is breaking down in a slightly different way, where this could actually be something like an expanding diagonal. Now, the key difference here would be if we're looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5, what we would be looking for is a 5-wave move to the downside. If what we get here rather is a 3-wave move to the upside, A, B, and C, and then we actually break down again in a 3-wave move, that is, now this 3-wave move would have to be longer than this wave 3 because of the way that this because it's an expanding diagonal. It would have to actually break down. So I'm actually going to go with this 1-to-1. It would have to break down past this 25,021 area if this is the case. Now, invalidation of this would come by actually taking this wave too high, which would be here, this 28,316. If we see something like this play out, what we could then see is that this could actually be our C wave, where this would actually become our A wave, this would become our B wave, and this would become our C wave. Now, that would actually bring us back into the channel. I kind of like this idea, but we'll have to see whether it proves itself or not. I would still be anticipating something like this, though, a corrective move to the downside. It might not get all the way down to this 0.618, but it would be an interesting level nevertheless, which would come back down and sort of retest these lows at this 26,252, and then look for progression up in this C wave here. Though obviously, until we actually start to break down, we need to just be cautious that this move doesn't start to extend out to the upside. And the way that we would have to argue that something like that could take place would be that, we'd be looking at this possibly as a wave 1, and a really shallow wave 2, which is why I don't really like the structure of it, looking at it like that. But we'd have to actually see a break above this zone of this 27,511. But now, because of the internals in the second half of this, even if you want to count this as 1, 2, all we have is another 5-wave move here. So basically what we would want to see then is having a move off these current lows towards this 27,755. So that would take us above that idea of having that, this is a 4th wave. That would take us above that invalidation point. So the key thing here is, really until we start to take some of these highs, we need to be careful that we don't continue to see a rejection here. Possibly what we could have here, even as this is a 1, 2, 3, we get a 4th and a 5th, and we've had just a bigger wave 1 here. And then we break down for that as a B wave, or alternatively, like I said, possibly this is just A, B, C. We get something like this as an A, we get a B wave up, and then we get a flat correction to the downsides towards this zone of this 26,390 to this 26,057. And then we get another 5-wave move up here. So this could be something that plays out, but we'll have to give it a bit of space and see exactly how the moves develop. Because when we were talking about this last, we were looking at the potential that this was 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're looking at this potentially as a 5th wave to the downside. Now, the thing is within this, it's technically possible that it could be completed where this becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then it's completed as a 5th wave. But we just need to be careful because of the way that it's dropped down here and the way that, the structure is. It could be a couple of things. So really, until we actually take this swing, we need to be very careful that this isn't just still got some moves within here where possibly we have another 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we break down. Even though it's not my primary count that we're going to break down in a bigger way like that, we still need to be aware of it because we were talking about it previously that this high point here in the alternative count could actually be a completion point, and then what we would be looking for that would actually be a deeper retracement, which would be looking towards this zone of this 21,830 to this 18,109. So we need to just be aware that this is still a possibility of a deeper corrective structure here, where we would then treat this whole move as a single structure, where this becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, if this is a 5-wave move like that, we have to be careful because from further back here, what we could have is this as A, B, and C as a flat, in which case that would mean that we're looking to break down. So we're going to have to be very careful with this. If we do get a 5-wave move like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that would set us up for that idea of actually getting a bigger, single 5-wave move to the downside. And if we do break down in a bigger 5-wave move here, that actually takes this this low of this 19,549. We would have to at least be looking out for that potential that this becomes we'd get a 3-wave move up, and then we'd get another 5-wave move to the downside. So, there's a couple of things we need to think about. We're within the zone. We need to see the price action follow through now. We need to see whether that 1-to-1 actually gives us a good 5-wave move to the upside within this structure that we're looking at here. What we could have here is even further extensions. This is why we need to be careful. This could become a 1-2. So even if we do break some of these key levels, but we actually fail to break back out of this channel and take this wave high here, which is sitting at this 29,820. If we get a 3-wave move up here, still have that potential for a bigger 5-wave move. So, it's going to be very key to actually break back above these highs. But even if we do, like I said, because of that possibility of that flat, we need to be careful that we don't form a move like this. Even come here, sweep these highs, and then still have another 5-wave move to the downside, which looks to actually bring us down and possibly retest lower down within the support range that we've been talking about for a while here. That would probably look to bring us back down towards this 50% if we did see something like that play out, where we could see a push down towards this 24,594, and then the lower range that we wouldn't want to lose is this 21,567. That would be our key zone lower down that we don't want to lose. Otherwise, it starts to really challenge the count that we are currently looking at. So yeah, we're gonna have to keep an eye on this low that we've just gotten. We're gonna have to keep an eye and see whether this maintains. If we form, the problem is, like I said, the structure isn't really great. If we did form another push to the upside here, something like this, where this becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, we can argue that we've had an extension in this wave 1, in which case we could then be looking for a 3-wave move down that holds this low, looks for support, possibly towards this zone of this 26.3, and then looks to push up either in another 3-wave move as a zigzag, or alternatively we get a bigger push to the upside looking for that impulse. So I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description you'll find a link to Discord. Why not come check it out and have a chat with us? It's free to join. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.